Number 10. Alexander Petrushkin, also known as the chessboard killer, is a Russian serial killer, convicted of murdering 48 victims and suspected of killing 60. He stated the goal of becoming Russia's most prolific serial killer. Number 9. Pedro Alonso Lopez, Colombian serial killer, accused of raping and killing more than 300 girls across South America. He confessed to over 300 murders. Imprisoned in 1980, he served just 18 years before being released from an Ecuadorian prison and was deported to Colombia, where he was rearrested and in 2002 was sentenced to life. Number 8. The Boston Strangler, a name given to the murderer of 13 women in the Boston area. In the early 1960s, the crimes were attributed to Albert DeSalvo based on his confession, details revealed in court during a separate case, and DNA evidence linking him to the last murder victim. Since then, it has been suggested that the murders were committed by more than one person. Number 7. David Berkowitz, known as the Son of Sam or the 44 caliber killer, carried out a series of shootings in the summer of 1976. He shot 6 people dead and wounded 7 others. Eventually captured in 1977, Berkowitz confessed to all of the killings and was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison for each murder. Number 6. Edmund Kemper is an American serial killer and necrophile who carried out a series of brutal murders in California in the 1970s. He murdered his grandparents, later killed and dismembered 6 female hitchhikers in the Santa Cruz area. He then killed his mother and one of her friends before turning himself into police days later. He was found guilty in 1973 of 8 counts of murder. He asked for the death penalty, but instead received life imprisonment. Number 5. Luis Garavito is child murderer, torture killer, and rapist known as the Beast, confessed to killing 140 children over a 5-year period in Colombia. He is suspected of murdering over 400 victims, mostly street children. Number 4. Zodiac Killer was a serial killer who operated in Northern California in the late 1960s and early 1970s. 4 men and 3 women were targeted. The killer originated the name Zodiac in a letter to the local Bay Area press, which was just one in a series of taunting letters. The California Department of Justice has maintained an open case file on the Zodiac murders since 1969. Number 3. Ted Bundy was an American serial killer and rapist who kidnapped numerous young women and girls during the 1970s. Bundy typically approached his female victims in a public place and led them to secluded areas where he would sexually assault and kill them. Repeatedly captured, he twice managed to escape from police and courthouses before going on to commit 3 further killings. Convicted of multiple murders, he was executed by the electric chair in 1989. Number 2. Andrei Chikatilo was a Soviet serial killer, nicknamed the Butcher of Rostov. He committed a sexual assault, murder and mutilation of at least 52 women and children in Russia between 1978 and 1990. He confessed to a total of 56 murders. He was convicted and sentenced to death for 52 murders in October 1992 and subsequently executed in February 1994. Number 1. Jack the Ripper is the best known name given to an unidentified serial killer or killers generally believed to have been active in and around the Whitechapel district of London in 1888. The name Jack the Ripper originated in a letter written by someone claiming to be the murderer. Some authorities suspected the poisoner George Chapman, birth name Soren Antonovich Kosovsky, of having been the notorious serial killer. What video would you prefer us to do next? Suggest in the comment section. Please comment, rate and subscribe.